guacamole, holy guacamole. I just got hit by a car, and you're the one who swept me off my feet, pushed me in the street, left me in a coma. Guacamole me, guacamole you. I just got busted for drugs, and you're the one who sold me to the Fed, leaving me for dead, played me for a fool. Making guacamole, mix it in the bowlie. I just got mauled by a bear, and you're the one who covered me with honey. Thought it was so funny. How could you be so cruel? Take it. That's good. Captain Guacamole, Officer Stromboli, I just got shot in the face, and you're the one who had the smoking gun. Love is just no fun whenever I'm with you. Guacamole coma, Yuma, Arizona, I just got hepatitis C, and you were standing there with a syringe. How it makes me cringe, breaks my heart in two. Holy guacamole, lumpy, green and rolly. Baby, I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause even though I'm down upon my luck, I don't give a fuck, long as I have you. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself anymore. I guess I'm just not interesting. I have no personality. I met a guy with cancer, and he felt sorry for me. I've never been a social guy. I'm always making children cry. I guess that's just the way it's meant to be. Help me make it out of bed, 'cause I am scared and sad. Help me make it through the day, 'cause there's nothing out there for me anymore. 'Cause I'm always coming in last place and getting dirt kicked in my face, and everyone pushes ahead of me, and no one stops to care. And I curse the gods each day in vain for giving me this life of pain, when all I a little hug. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, check, test, help, 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 help. Testing, 1, 2, 3, help. Hi, hi. Can you help? Help, help. Whoo, whoo. Computer, volume 10. Computer, what time is it?
It's 11 a.m.
You can do this. You've done it so many times before. This is just another one. Just one more day. That's all. Hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3, check. Running a little hot. Help. Help. Can you hear me? I'm asking, do people hear me and do you see me? And does it look like I'm in the mountains? Alexander Dean asks if I'm in a wind tunnel. You might be referring to the hot water heater that we're going to be needing for this recipe. I have it going on. Vapor Hamblinken says, first time being on one of your live streams. I love you. Thank you, Vapor Hamblinken. Welcome. We always have fun here, but it always starts off a little rocky, like a like a plane flight where maybe the people operating the plane just got done with happy hour or something. Like they're not extremely drunk, but they're just a little tipsy, and it sort of goes like this. But eventually it levels out as they sober up. We've got some alerts coming down the pike here, and I'd like to get to them. Phantom Parakeet has resubscribed for 15 months. Thank you, Phantom Parakeet. And says 15 months of using and ain't about to stop. Thanks so much for using, Phantom Parakeet. And by user here at Henry's Kitchen, we mean you have a username on Twitch or YouTube. We don't mean user in the sense that you're a drug addict. And you might be, and that's okay too. We have my cat roast beef is not feeling very well, and it's got me a little bit concerned. But I'm gonna take him to the vet and make sure everything's okay. He's very old. It's a little depressing, but Norel Borel gifted a tier 1 sub to BenMe117. Thank you, Norel Borel. Very nice of you, and great to meet you in Naperville, Illinois, where once again I'll be performing at the end of this month, June 28th, Naperville, Illinois, at Danny's Pub and Grill, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want tickets, you can go to henryphillips.com and look at the tour section, or henrys.kitchen. Mega Gildy, thanks for resubscribing for 32 months. Wonderful, Mega Gildy, thanks. And it says 32 months of being inspired by Henry, that is all. Also, the chatter below me smells nice, and the chatter below you would be 10 Carl. 10 Carl has subscribed for 34 months. Amazing. Thanks, 10 Carl, and great hanging out with you in Fairfield, Connecticut earlier this year. Royal Flush 9 has resubscribed for 4 months. Been a user for 4 months and can't and won't stop. Thank you, Royal Flush 9. Alexander Dean gifted a tier 1 sub to Squelch the Noise. And Norel Borel resubscribed. This is all great. And Yup Eric resubscribed for 36 months. I know, buddy. You might hear my cat screaming in the background. He's having a tough time. But I'm going to take him to the vet later today and get him all checked out. It's probably just old age, but he's just having difficult times. Well, let's see here. I know there's some more alerts here. Oh, Beelzebub says also check the pinned message for Naperville tickets. That's probably in the Discord, or is it here on Twitch? Squelch the Noise has a crazy cat too. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not. It's he has all the signs of dementia. He'll walk into a room and not remember why he walked into that room, and then he'll go to the kitchen and put on hot water on the stove and then forget that he did it, and then he comes back to a pot that's completely dry but burned on the bottom. Duza says, my new cat sounds like she smokes 2 packs a day. That sounds cool. That's the coolest sounding cat I think I've ever heard of. Probably sounds a little bit like one of those old movie stars, you know, like Clark Gable or Humphrey Bogart. I always wondered where that expression Bogart comes from when there's a group of people smoking from a marijuana cigarette and one person Bogarts it. I guess Humphrey Bogart was famous maybe for being the guy hogging up the joint, or was he a guy who didn't bring his own? And I don't know how that works. He always seemed like he was a cool guy or something, but I guess he was a little bit of a douche in that regard. Squelch the Noise says, I have to make her food. She can't keep anything store-bought. She eats better than me. I assume you're still talking about your cat? Thanks, Squelch the Noise. Yeah, that sounds very similar to what's going on with roast beef. Fondue Yourself says, I had a cat like that. It's an unpleasant meow. Yeah, it is. It's very sad. Although I don't know if there's very many pleasant meows. Did you know that when a cat meows, what they're really saying is they don't like that you're there. They want you to leave. They feel like this is their territory, and they would just rather that you went away somewhere and sort of left them their space. I thought that was fascinating. So if you ever go to a friend's house and the cat comes over and meows, it means, who are you? Get the fuck out of my house. They're not necessarily great hosts, cats, but we love them, don't we? Under the Sky So Blue says, I guess Fancy Feast isn't fancy enough for some cats. Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, everybody, we're getting off a little bit. I want to say some very sad news. I heard this morning that the great Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys died. Some young people might only be familiar with and old people as well, only familiar with the Beach Boys' surfing hits. And those were great songs, too, in a particular genre. But the music that Brian Wilson started making in the 60s, starting with a little bit before Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds, one of the best albums of all time, inspired the album Sgt. Pepper by the Beatles, and they had a very healthy rivalry with each other and friendship. And Brian Wilson was not only the George Martin of the band, but he was also the performer and instrumentalist, and worked with the Wrecking Crew, and just kept on making great music, and lived a lot longer than any of us thought. So he had a great life, but it's always sad. I figure, why don't I do a lesser known Brian Wilson song for you now. Let's put on the reverb. Check, 1, 2. Oh boy, so sorry, buddy. Here, you know what? I'm gonna before we do this, why don't we show a quick video, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to get roast beef in his bed and feeling okay, because he's having a tough time. Oh, buddy. Okay, I'm going to show you a video that I edited together recently of a guitar teacher on YouTube named Mark Zabel, who doesn't seem to know that his graphics person quit a long time ago, so he keeps pointing sort of to the air, and I finally figured out what it was.
You like this one? I think you'll like this one as well, so check that out, and that you'll enjoy playing it too. If you did, you might like one of these two videos where I do some more Beatles from Let It Be. You got this. Hey, if you like this video, I bet you're going to really love this video. Why don't you check it out? And that I got from the great Mick Taylor of the Rolling Stones. So click here to get the scoop on that. Should you just noodle around the scale and see what happens? No, you shouldn't. Click here to see how a master studio musician from the 70s did it beautifully, and how you can too. So click here, and that's simpler and quite different than this one. Click here. It's another perfect solo that makes a great song even greater. So click here. But if you like learning this little trick, you're going to love this one, a trick that I learned from the late, great Danny Gatton. So go ahead and click on this. I'll see you in that video, and I'll see you on down the road.
There it was, Mark Zabel. And by the way, if you want to get tickets for the show in Naperville, Illinois, or the Los Angeles show coming up July 24th, you can click on this link right here. It's either right here or it might be over here. I'll watch the tape afterward and see which one that the graphic pops up, but you should be able to see a little graphic right here that says click here for tickets. Okay? Royal Flush 9 says noodles are legendarily bad at pointing, especially when cooked. Yeah, that's true. Let's see what some of these other Zone Seek says, this guy is such a troll. Maybe talking about Mark Zabel. Seems like Ouija board says seems like a nice guy. RemCO9 says he's not. I don't know him personally. I just but his channel's pretty good. Squelch the Noise says half the time I pet my cat, if she yowls and leave her be. Oh, if she yowls and I leave her be, the other half of the time she purrs. Oh, I see. Sorry, I did a bad job reading that. I'm still a little bit traumatized by my cat roast beef not feeling good, but we're going to be okay. All right, let's grab the guitar. We're going to honor the great Brian Wilson in the only way that we can, and that's to let his music live on. Even here at Henry's Kitchen, where I do pretty much hit and miss performances of songs, usually in a couple octaves below where they're supposed to be. But here's a beautiful song. It's called Love and Mercy. And I think the message of this song lives on from the time that he wrote it, relatively late in his career. I think it was in 1989. But this song, I think the message is just as true today, actually maybe even more important than it was back then. And check out the movie by the same name with John Cusack and Paul Dano. It's called Love and Mercy. Here we go. Wait, do we have, you have sound and everything? You can hear me? Check. Help! You can hear me okay? I was sitting in a crummy movie with my hands on my chin. Oh, the violence that occurs seems like we never win. Love and mercy, that's what you need tonight. Love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. I was lying in my room and the news came on TV. A lot of people out there hurting and it really scares me. Love and mercy, that's what you need tonight. Love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. I just got alerted that the hot water is ready for us to make our carrot hot dog, but we still have another verse here, and I hope you're enjoying this. I was standing in a bar and watching all the people there. Oh, the loneliness in this world, well, it's just not fair. Last chorus. Love and mercy, that's what you need tonight. Love and mercy to you and your friends tonight. Love and mercy, that's what roast beef needs tonight. What love and mercy, that's what we all need tonight. R.I.P. the great Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Thank you for all the amazing music. Vapor Hamblinkin says, I loved your set on YouTube channel, just for laughs. I'd love to see you live someday before someone leaks nude photographs on the internet. Much love as always. Thank you very much, Vapor Hamblinkin. I actually, I think I know the set that you're talking about. I didn't think it was that good. It was in Montreal, and I think that half of the people, and great people in Montreal, but I don't know that a lot of the sort of more subtle stuff really went over. You know, there is a language barrier, but I mean, most of them speak English and stuff, but I feel like there might have been there was a disconnect between me and that audience, but I'm glad you liked it, Vapor Hamblinson. And in terms of nude photos on the internet, I don't think you'll find those, but with AI, you are able to do a lot of interesting stuff. Caffeinated Kath, hi Henry, the office is here and ready to learn. Thank you very much, Caffeinated Kath. Bert Bufftug, well, a number of us will be in Naperville next weekend. Awesome. That's great to hear, Bert Bufftug. It's going to be great. Is it next weekend or is it, yeah, the weekend after this? This weekend would be this weekend, but we're talking about next weekend. No, but it's the following weekend even after that. So, Bert Bufftug, make sure you have that date correct. All right. Mayo Tomato, I've always seen your clips online. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you, Mayo Tomato. Thanks for joining. It looks like we have some new people here now, and I appreciate that. Franz Schubert says, I'm getting a new washer and dryer, which is about as exciting life is going to get for a guy like me. Thanks, Franz Schubert. We love the orchestral symphonies that you wrote back in the, I guess in the 19th century. Computer, when did Franz Schubert write his music?
From Wikipedia.org. In 1823, Schubert wrote his
Wow.
first large-scale song cycle.
Longer ago than I thought.
D, 795.
Computer, stop. We don't need all that shit. Sorry. Getting a little bit on edge here, but I do have to say, computer always goes way, way too long when I ask a simple question. Like that, the answer to that question should have just been a date. Okay, fondue yourself. The mountain moving behind you is wigging me out. Is it moving? It shouldn't be moving. That might be something that's going on with you. It's not moving on my end. Franz Schubert says, yeah, it's been about 200 years since I finished my last symphony. That's amazing. I always get Schubert and Schumann mixed up, but I think Schumann was a 20th century composer. And then there's Schoenberg, so it really gets confusing. And then there's Shoemaker, who was a guy who made shoes, apparently. Delft 295, someone drew a giant chessboard on that mountain. They sure did. I should talk about this picture, actually. It was submitted to us by one of our users, Dark Ages, who's our resident photographer, who says, another one from our recent trip. This one is a view of Pikes Peak and the surrounding range from our campsite at sunset. Beautiful. So Pikes Peak, is this the place that they named the coffee after, that when you go to Starbucks? Or is that Pike's Place or something? I don't know. But I think that would have to be Seattle. But if I remember correctly, your trip was based in the southwestern area, sort of up to Colorado. But I didn't think you were as high up as Seattle. I still have a little coffee left. I'm going to pour this. It's not Pike's Peak. It's called Major Dickinson's Blend from a brand called Pete's. And it was gifted to me by you, the users of Henry's Kitchen, and I'm very appreciative. It's amazing coffee, and we have to be thankful for the little things that we have. We really do. Because we don't have much. But coffee is something that, it's basically just beans that grow out of, I think they come out of something similar to a fruit, and we get the beans from inside of them. We pick the beans out. We don't do it. Workers do it, and maybe some people do it themselves. I don't know. Do people make their own coffee in their garden? I don't think that's even possible. That's a good question, though. I know people make their own shitty beer. Thitchin Hat says, fulfillment comes from within, Henry. Do you mean within, comma, Henry, or do you mean it comes from within Henry? The Yaminator and some beans come from cat booty holes. Did not know that. And by the way, you don't have to give every little bit of trivia that there is. Bert Bufftug says, the very top of Pikes Peak is beautiful. Highly recommend visiting. Very cool. Okay. There was something I was going to say. I have ADHD and OCD and ADD as well. Computer, what's the difference between ADD and ADHD?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, ADD is the acronym used for Attention Deficit Disorder. ADHD is the acronym for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. The difference between the two is the hyperactive behavior observed in ADHD.
Vapor Hamplinkin says one has an H in the middle. See, that's all computer had to say, is just say that. Parasitosis says, and IBS. But the I typed out is the same if it's a capital I or if it's a lowercase l. So parasitosis works for the Department of Weights and Measures. So it could be that parasitosis said and pounds. I don't really know. In the future, if you're going to be typing an I, maybe always do lowercase, and that's the way we'll know. But then if you do uppercase, then maybe we'll think, oh, he just mistakenly put an uppercase I. So we really have no way to do this. Under the Sky So Blue says, L think ADHD encapsulates the two types. Oh, I think. See, there you go. I thought it was lowercase l. Okay, so ADHD encapsulates both of them. Okay, so ADD has become sort of a antiquated phrase. What were we talking about way before any of this stuff? I'm going to do another song. Let's go ahead and do this song. Because of roast beef's situation and because of some of the distress that I had hearing about the great Brian Wilson passing, I didn't get a chance to get to your songs today. So I'm just going to go ahead and do one of the songs that I wrote many, many years ago. And I'll be doing it in Naperville, Illinois at the end of this month, June 28th. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you can join us. There'll be karaoke afterward. It's going to be a good time. So, thanks Dark Ages for this picture. I'm going to go ahead and switch it out now. What do we got? Parasitosis sends us this one. What does it say on there? Portland, Oregon. Beautiful place. I like this. So were you in Portland recently? I hate the fact that I have to cover it up, though, with my body. But that's a really cool sign. Thanks for sending that, Parasitosis. Bert Bufftug says, Henry, if I bring my entire set of pots and pans from my kitchen to the Naperville show, will you sign all of them? Yes, I will, Bert Bufftug, but the thing that I want to say is that you can't... you have to put them someplace where they'll stay quiet during the show, because having a lot of pots and pans could end up being a disaster for people that are trying to watch the show. But I'm just happy that people are coming. Boner of a Lonely Fart tipped $20. Thank you so much, Boner of a Lonely Fart. That's very kind of you. And it says, I've always loved Brian because he was so open about being scared. He sure was. R.I.P. Brian, love and mercy to Henry and Roast Beef. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful message and for that donation to us here at Henry's Kitchen from Boner of a Lonely Fart. And Caffeinated Cat says, thank you, Boner, that's really awesome. Caffeinated Cat says, Henry, We have a new coworker here to watch your show with us. He is very excited to see what you're cooking today. Oh, okay. Well, the cooking usually starts after some of the other stuff, but I'll show you. This is going to be exciting. I'll be making these. These are hot dogs, but here's the twist. Check this out. They're not actual hot dogs. These are going to be carrots that are made to be eaten like a hot dog. And I've got a giant, not a hot dog bun, it's more of a roll, but I'm going to cut that in half, and we're going to have pretty much awesome hot dogs. Maybe in honor of our upcoming trip to the Chicago area, we can honor the Chicago dog. I've got some sauerkraut, and I've got some mousstarde. So we're gonna have a little party here. It's gonna be great. So just hang on real tight. I'm gonna just do another song here from the catalog. Calicus says, we like your body too. No worries, Henry. You're doing great. Thank you, Calicus. That's very kind of you to give me that uplifting message there. Bert Bufftug, I'm afraid to ask, what's the news with roast beef? Roast beef is currently under the sink doing his sleeping. I'm going to take him to the vet because, to be frank with you, he is having loose stools, which could be nothing. I've had them probably since the 80s. But for cats, it's a little less usual. Humans get loose stools because we eat all kinds of shit voluntarily. But cats pretty much eat the same thing, so it's an area of concern. Let's go ahead and change up the picture here. Thanks, Parasitosis, for that awesome Portland, Oregon pic. And Nancy Droodles gives us an interesting one. Very cool. It's a zebra being rescued. That's very sweet. I like seeing stuff like that. Beelzebub, here we go. This is Beelzebub at Costco, and the caption was that there was nothing that she could eat here, and I don't know why that is. Maybe is she on a gluten-free diet, or maybe a vegan? I don't think Costco serves that type of food. But anyway, let's go ahead and use this as the background for our song. Oh, Beelzebub says celiacs and other allergies. Yep, celiacs is a real thing. And what's terrible about having celiacs is when you go to a restaurant and tell the waiter, I have celiacs, I literally cannot have any gluten products, otherwise it's going to be a big problem. They roll their eyes and they think that you're being like one of these high maintenance people, but it really is true. I have a friend who's got it, and it's a very difficult situation. If she so much has a morsel of something that contains gluten, she will have explosive diarrhea right on the spot. Beelzebub says it's true. Nod, they do that. Yeah. Game Master Flash says B calls it getting glutened, which is serious, but I laughed when she said it. It's okay to laugh at people's diseases. I don't know about that. Shouting Tom says, yes, I avoid telling servers that. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Dark Aegis wants to say the Costco hot dogs are actually very good, and all beef, it's nuts. Only reason that they're that cheap was the original CEO is practically militant about it. That's really cool to hear, Dark Aegis. Now, charging very little for something is a very noble thing to do, but then you have to remember that's also going to cause the demand to go way up, and sometimes you'll run out of your supply. But that's not happening in Naperville, Illinois, where the tickets have been on sale for several months, and we still have probably 20 more tickets to go before we're sold out. So I think we picked the right number. Toke My Nuts says beef nuts. Vapor Hamblinkin says cow cock. Okay, everybody. I think it's time to go ahead and do a song here. This is a little country song that I wrote many, many years ago. You are the blossom, I am the vine. You are the blossom, I am the vine. Country song, that's right, Zone Seek, yeehaw. Sweet little blossom of mine, hanging. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot because I've been so distracted with the Brian Wilson thing. This is the birthday of Joe Kelly Jr., who I've written a bunch of songs with, and Joe Kelly Jr. is the original writer of this song, and it's a beautiful song, and I bastardized it with some long lyrics, and I can't believe I almost forgot. I haven't talked to Joe in a while, but it is his birthday today, so we're going to be doing a tribute to Joe and his wonderful music. You are the blossom, I am the vine. You are the blossom, I am the vine. Sweet little blossom of mine, hanging on the vine, extracting all the nutrients from the inside. Sweet little blossom of mine. You are the oyster, I am the pearl. You are the oyster, I am the pearl. Sweet little oyster of mine, irritating you on the inside, covering me with your shiny mucus-like substance until I shine. Sweet little oyster of mine. You are the earth, I am the moon. You are the earth, I am the moon. Sweet little earth of mine, regulating your tide, using my gravitational pull to stabilize your axis and help maintain a relatively stable climate condition. Sweet little earth of mine. I am the host organism. You are the unicellular dinoflagellate algae. I am the host organism. You are the unicellular dinoflagellate algae. I want everybody singing along here. Sweet little unicellular dinoflagellate algae of mine, letting me use your chloroplast that I can photosynthesize, providing me with carbon in exchange from the nutrients you obtain from my catabolic pathways. Sweet little unicellular dinoflagellate algae of mine. There's only 55 more verses here. You are the J-Lo, I am the Ben. You are the J-Lo, I am the Ben. Sweet little J-Lo of mine, right there by my side, getting back together with me after a 17-year relationship hiatus while I could come to terms with my alcohol and addiction issues so that we could eventually get back together and make stupid movies together. Sweet little J-Lo of mine. Okay, last one. You are the Elvis, I am the Colonel Tom Parker. You are the Elvis, I'm the Colonel Tom Parker. Sweet little Elvis of mine, right there by your side, pulling your bloated 250-pound cocaine and barbiturate-saturated body out of the bathtub to keep you from drowning in a puddle of your own vomit and then selling a bunch of records. Sweet little Elvis of mine. That song, a collaboration. I wrote some goofy lyrics for it, but the beautiful melody was written by the great Joe Kelly Jr., who might be watching the stream with us right now. It's Joe's birthday, and why not do another Joe Kelly Jr. song? I have to go to get the lyrics off the internet, but it was used in, let's see. This is called Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, and die-hard, really die-hard Henry's Kitchen fans will remember this song from the episode, the Veggie Duckin' episode. And I'm going to change the picture. Thanks, Beelzebub, for sharing this picture of all the menu items at Costco that you're not able to have as a result of your gluten allergy. Janie Mango sends us a picture from Snake River, Idaho. Beautiful picture. Okay, from the Veggie Duckin' episode of Henry's Kitchen, the song Cup of Coffee, written performed by Jose Suicidio, but written by the great Joe Kelly Jr., who's celebrating a birthday today. He was, whoops, I don't know if I'm in the right key. No. Okay, I gotta find a better key for this. Hold on a sec. Sorry about this. Okay, this'll work.
He was a star, but he didn't get far. That's the way of fortune and fame. Yeah, he was funny, made lots of money, but you can't remember his name. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. He went to parties and he met starlets, even had a wife or two. But those were the old days, those were the good days. Now those days are through. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on your feet. I'm supposed to be back on my feet, sorry. It was November, maybe December. She saw him on a TV show. He did a guest spot, and then she remembered his name was Hollywood Joe. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. Buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet.
There we go. Happy birthday, the great songwriter Joe Kelly Jr., and thank you for letting me collaborate with you. And also, let's go ahead and do Nobody's Birthday for Joe. Joe, I believe, is turning 67 today, if I'm not mistaken.
It's nobody's birthday, no need for candles on the cake. It's nobody's birthday, it was just a big mistake. It's nobody's birthday, no need to set 'em up, Joe.
Doesn't rhyme. That's a line from a Frank Sinatra song, but
Cause it's nobody's birthday but Joe's. It's nobody's birthday but Joe's.
happy birthday, Joe Kelly Jr., and it was so great to see you in St. Louis last year when we did the Flyover Comedy Festival, and hope you're doing well out there. And okay, I think it's time to start cooking our shit. Let me put the guitar down. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but this is a weird morning. Well, it's probably just weird for me because roast beef is having health issues, and then Brian Wilson passing, even though we all knew it was going to happen, but it's still just, when it happens, it's the end of an era, and it's just difficult. Lame ZZ, lame_ZZ sends us this picture of a cornball. Thank you very much. for that picture of a cornball from lame ZZ underscore. And I think that does it for our pictures. We did the zebra. This really warms my heart. Thank you so much for sending this. This one was sent to us by user Nancy Droodles. Okay, everybody. Well, it's that time. Computer, what time is it?
The time is 11:43 a.m.
Here we are. Henry's Kitchen. You might notice a new addition to the kitchen. This is a roast beef neon sign. So we have 2 neon signs now, both of them gifted to me by the users of Henry's Kitchen. You can't quite see the roast beef sign because it's too bright. I'm working on trying to figure out how to get it less bright like the other neon sign, and we will, but everything is a work in progress. Delph295 says it's upside down. Well, yeah, you can't quite see it, but he's wearing a chef hat. It's actually absolutely adorable. It's the cutest fucking thing I think I've ever seen. And I just can't believe how lucky I am that I was able to have that given to me as a gift by you, the users, who've given me so much. Passy Poison, but it's upside down. Maybe it helps with the brightness. Maybe so, I'm not sure. We'll see. Here, hold on a second. You're saying it's supposed to be like that? Quite possibly, but I'm not sure. I think let's experiment with it. Let's get it to where you can actually see it, because right now it just sort of looks like a blur. I guess we can leave it like that for now. All right, everybody. So Caffeinated Kath is over there watching from work with coworkers and a new coworker, and they're very excited to start getting to learn about some snacks that they can make there in the green room, or whatever you call it. I haven't had a corporate job in 30 years, but the break room, that's what it is. And Passy Poison says, but it's upside down. Maybe it helps with the brightness. Oh, okay, yeah, you're talking about that. We're going to leave that alone for now. And let's start getting into this situation here. We're going to be making a hot dog, but the twist is we're going to be making it with these. How is this possible? I don't know, but I'll tell you what it's going to look like when we're done with it. It's going to look like this. Looks like some pretty kick-ass hot dogs to me. So let's see if they're full of shit. Passy Poison says, you read me twice. Better scroll the chat down. Oh yeah. You know what? I'll tell you, because, and I want everybody to know this, Quanto, the great technical advisor for the Henry's Kitchen streams, set it up so that I have one category which are questions. So if you ask a question, it's going to go into one category. And if you just make a statement, it goes into another one. So I accidentally read the question, the bottom scroll on the question twice. So there you go. The top manager says, Henry's voice is reverberating in my head. Very, very apologetic about that. I left the reverb on, so we're going to go ahead and disengage reverb. There we go. Okay, so it should be off. I know reverb can be triggering to people who have sensitivity and seizures, so all right. Dark Aegis says, if it's still reverberating, go to the hospital. Yeah, if you have a reverberation that lasts for longer than 4 hours, call a medical professional. Saguaro Oo says, I suppose you could put anything with that general shape in a bun and call it a hot dog. Yeah, I'm a little cynical about this, to be honest with you. I'm a little cynical about what we're about to make here, but I hope it comes out all right. So let's take it as, let's take it as, let's take it from this, this is a website called sweetsimpleLadies.com. Under the Sky So Blue says, love, I've seen that onion thing recently. Okay. Dark Ages says, is this a hotted dog? Is this hotted dog an affront to God? It might be, Dark Ages, because you're up there in a region close to Chicago where they take a lot of pride in their hot dogs. So this might be an affront to God. I'm not sure. Okay. Carrot hot dogs, trust us. This is from sweetsimpleLadies.com. You have to try these. This fun twist on the traditional hot dog is marinated and then grilled until juicy and tender, perfect for backyard grilling. Okay. And then they've got a beautiful, beautiful picture here. I'll show you the picture because I think it's worth seeing. That's not it, of course. Fuck is going on here?
Like this one? I think you'll like this one
There's
as
a
well. So
malfunction
check that out,
happening,
and you'll enjoy playing it
unfortunately.
too. If you did.
Hold on. That's close, but here, let's get the other one. There they are. This is what we're making today. It's going to be good. Well, why don't we stop reading all this bullshit that comes in front of it, and let's just start doing it. The number one recipe request we have received from our followers is the carrot hot dog. We're going to need, here, let's go over our ingredients here. We need carrots and, oh wow, my watch just went off here and it says that I've got 188 steps this week. Okay, we also want broth. Apple cider vinegar. I don't have broth. This is the first time I'm learning that we needed broth. I'm kind of pissed off about that. Okay. Soy sauce. I'm using Kikkoman. Kikkoman. You never want to kick him on when he's done. That's their slogan. Soy sauce. Maple syrup. I don't have maple syrup, but I'm going to use this agave. And then we have liquid smoke. I don't know what in the hell that is, but that was part of the recipe. Spices and aromatics. I'll be using a garlic powder and some Stoked Pampika. And maybe a little salt and pepper. But that's it, guys. So let's go ahead and start getting to work. Number one, we want to trim the carrots. So let's move all of this other stuff out of the way. And let's get into these carrots here. Guess we should rinse these. I mean, we're going to boil them anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but these came from the farmer's market,
Delicious.
which always means that they're not going to look anywhere near as good. The News Junkie just rated with 26 viewers. Thanks, The News Junkie. Thanks for sharing your audience with us. If you want to get caught up on what we're doing, I'll tell you, it's pretty exciting. We are making... I always have a hard time. Okay, yeah, we're making these. They're hot dogs, but here's the twist. They're going to be made out of carrots. This is a Instagram thing that's sweeping the nation right now. And let's go ahead and, or a TikTok thing, whatever social media. Okay, the Step Happy says hot dog, yuck. Yeah, we all know that Hot dogs are basically just byproducts of meat seasoned and then stuffed into a pig's intestine or whatever. So I get what you mean. It is gross, but we're using carrots, and this is food that comes from the earth. And this particular carrot I bought at the farmer's market, where the people they're a hardcore group of people. Let's just say that. My grandmother used to say that when you go to the farmer's market, you just have to find somebody weaker than you and kick their ass right away. Otherwise, everybody's going to go after you. It's a little like jail. And she spent time in jail for white-collar crimes. Federal prison. All day yuckers, carrots come from the earth, but peaches come in a can. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, let's see what it says here. It wants us to trim the carrots. So using a sharp knife, I don't think it's necessary to go into a really sharp knife if you're just cutting a carrot, and I don't feel like putting on all kinds of hand protection. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. Trim the ends of the raw carrots down so that they are the same length as the hot dog buns you will be using. I'm using one bun, and I'm going to cut it in half right now. Like so. We're going to eventually have to cut those in half. So these are a little short, but that's okay. Cut off the end there. All right. Peel the outer skin off. I've got a carrot peeler. This also doubles as a potato peeler. Okay. There we go. I want to remind everybody that tickets are selling fast for these shows that are coming up. Los Angeles, California, July 24th, and Naperville, Illinois, June 28th. The tickets are $20, and it's always a lot of fun. If you want the tickets, you go to henryphillips.com or henrys.kitchen and go to the tour section. Okay, I think that's good on that. It's hard for me to believe that these are going to look like what they had in the picture. Okay. I think that's about right. Now it says whittle the ends of your carrot dog so that it resembles a real hot dog. So we're just going to whittle. Do a little whittling, the same way you would with a piece of wood. This is probably just so that you can convince whoever you're serving this to that it's a real hot dog. Cosmetics is very important. 300 stars says, is this a vegan extravaganza? I don't know. I don't know if this bun is vegan, but it will be vegetarian, I believe, unless they put egg in it. Computer, is egg vegetarian?
Eggs are considered to be vegetarian, as they do not contain any meat or animal-derived ingredients. However, it is important to note that not all eggs are created equal, and the source of the eggs may affect their suitability for vegetarians. For example...
Computer, stop! Always goes off on a tangent. It's like, oh, this is my time to start shining and talking forever. Sorry, everybody. It's just a little pet peeve of mine. It's like... It was literally a yes or no question, and then it just had all kinds of extra information. This is the first time I'm realizing that an egg is not an animal-derived product. That I didn't know, but, you know, the computer is taking information from the vastness of the internet, so it definitely is right about everything. Okay. Well, I think we've whittled these pretty good. I don't know, actually. Oh, I only whittled one of them. I got to whittle this other one. Just sort of whittle there. You want it to look a little bit like a hot dog. I'm hoping when we're done with this, it has more of a semblance to a hot dog. Or a resemblance. I think they mean the same thing. Computer, what's the difference between a semblance and a resemblance?
The difference between a semblance and a resemblance is in their definitions and usage. A semblance is a superficial or apparent resemblance between two things, while a resemblance is a close or exact similarity between two things.
Computer, stop. It literally said a semblance is a resemblance. Boy, it's really difficult to try to figure out what in the hell's going on in this crazy world of ours. Okay, just cutting our buns open here. All right. Slashknock says, Henry, did you hear about the guy who told his computer what... Oh, nice try. He was trying to dox me, and it would have worked if I didn't catch it. Parasitosis, English language is fucking dumb. It sure is. And also, parasitosis, what are your thoughts on the English system versus metric? Crubberang, computer, smarten up, please. You're absolutely right. Computer doesn't want to participate with us anymore, I guess. It's tired of the bullshit. Caffeinated Cat says, Henry,
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Caffeinated Cat says, Henry, could the office use a plastic butter knife to make these? That's all we have in the kitchen. Yes, you can. Let me tell you, though, when you're working with plastics, you want to hold your thumb to the end of it and when you're doing your whittling, you want to do it like that. And I'll tell you why, because if you do it from back here, it will break right at the weakest point. So it's okay. It won't be sharp, but yeah, hold it. You might even be able to use a spork. A spork is a combination between a fork and a knife. Bootsy Moonshine says, also microplastics are an issue. Yeah, I think that there's a certain level of microplastics that your body can tolerate. The only problem is we don't know what that amount is, so it's better to avoid it. Okay, so it says peel until uninformed. Peel until uninformed. What the fuck does that mean? Continue using the peeler to shave down the carrots to make them uninformed without... Sorry, everybody. They said peel until uniform. Uniform meaning it's all one form, I guess. Not uninformed. Sometimes, I think as I've gotten older, my eyes have kind of screwed up a little bit. They've gotten screwed up. We like to use the peeler to round out the ends to make them look more like hot dogs. That was the whittling we were talking about. Okay, now we're going to make the marinade. So let's grab a work bowl here. And in terms of our marinade, I want to check out our alerts here. The News Junkie, thanks again. And Jolly Austin 1 says, during my prostate exam, I asked my doctor where I should put my pants. Over there by mine was not the answer I expected. Yeah, I don't think you were at a real doctor's office. I think you might have gone into the wrong door in the wrong neighborhood. So that might be something you want to think about. Okay, here we go. We're going to make our marinade. And doing so, we're going to add our... well, wait a second. It says add broth. we do not have broth. I was never told that we were going to have broth. So we're going to do this a little differently. I'm going to skip the broth and just put everything else in. Let's go to the directions here. Okay. We want of apple cider vinegar. We want 1/4 cup. I don't need that many. I'm only making 2 of these. So I think we're going to just kind of put in a tablespoon of each item, if that's okay. Oh boy, this is some nasty smelling stuff right here. Apple cider vinegar. Who would have known? Only in 2025, am I right? Okay, and then we're going to also add our soy sauce. We're going to use the Kikkoman. And we want 1 tablespoon of that. And then it also says it wants 1 tablespoon. Oh, it actually wants 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Kikkoman. And the next one here is going to be, let's see, maple syrup, liquid smoke. We want 1 tablespoon. Okay. Ooh, that smells good. Wow, that smells, I think that smells like the hot dog, right? That liquid smoke is sort of the hot dog. That really does smell good. Wow. Who would have known? Has anybody heard of this stuff called liquid smoke? Pretty good. Okay, and then we're going to do maple syrup. I don't have maple syrup, but I have something called agave. And so we're going to pour, I guess, 1 tablespoon of that. This is interesting. You got to give it up to the vegetarians / vegans because they make their dishes out of all kinds of flavors. They have to go so far into the flavor category in order to make up for the lack of meat. Okay, we want a little bit of garlic pepper here. You're basically just hiding the fact that it's a carrot, I think. Worcestershire sauce we don't have, and nobody told me that I needed it, so they're going to have to just do without that. Okay, and so I'm trying to figure out, oh, okay, so I think the next thing that we do is we boil the carrots. So, okay. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit befuddled at the moment. I'm going to take our hot water here, start boiling it. We might have to do another song here just to kind of keep up appearances. This dish is turning out to be a lot more shit. I thought it was just making a hot dog. Dark Ages says, also so I can stop being a hypocritical meat eater. Oh, Dark Ages, that was a comment. Dark Ages says, I'm just waiting for lab-grown meat to take off so this nonsense can stop once and for all. Yeah, let's just start doing that. Parasitosis, can we just use hot dog water to boil the carrots in? Hot dog water to boil the carrots in. I think hot dog water becomes hot dog water after you've made a hot dog in it, though. So that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Okay, let me make sure I cover up some of these items. We're doing real vegan cooking today, or vegetarian anyway, unless there's meat product in this bread. I don't know, but I think we could. I think we could probably put these in. So place the carrots in the pan. Set over medium-high heat. Bring to a boil. I'm so confused. Oh, I see. Add the... Okay, I'm very confused about this. It says, add the apple cider vinegar, etc. to a saute pan. I didn't see the saute pan part. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna have to change something here. We need a saute pan. I think I can use this. Sorry, everybody. I apologize. This is not going well. I think we're supposed to pour this in here. And then we take these. I need a utensil to take these carrots out with. That's not gonna work. Here we go. That liquid smoke really smells good. Somebody said liquid smoke is a scam. I don't know what that means. Are you saying there's no such thing? Okay, let's marinate this up. All right, that's going to go ahead and cook for a little bit. I just want to fully spread our buns out. Okay, and then I think we're supposed to let that cook for a while. Zone Seek says, I think they're going to end up crunchier than a hot dog. Yeah, they might be. I'm very confused. I thought that we were supposed to boil them, but apparently not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the beautiful Dutch oven, the cover for the Dutch oven that was gifted to me by you guys, and I'm going to put it on top of our carrots. So let's let that sit. Computer, set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
And you know what? I'm going to take... Oh, fuck. Sorry. Oh, fuck. I should have taken the boiling water. I should have taken the boiling water and put it in the thing instead of broth, I guess. I got fruit flies too. Oh no. Guys, I fucked up big now. I fucked up really big. I thought this was water and it was coffee. I just literally put fucking coffee in this thing now. I wasn't thinking. I thought that I had drunk all my coffee and filled this with water, but I forgot that I found more coffee, so I had half a cup of coffee and I just poured it into our mixture here. So that's gonna be weird. But Passy Poison says coffee is just water. Okay. Gaki says, Gakasi says, honestly, it might be fine with the liquid smoke. Okay. Game Kande says that's the broth. Okay, so you guys don't seem like you're very worried about it. I guess I was thinking that would kind of screw things up, but that's good to know. Okay, so now I'm going to let this water boil a little bit. T-Dude says caffeinated dogs. Happy accident. Thanks, Nancy Droodles. Disappointment says I'm not concerned. Caffeinated Cat says we put oatmeal in coffee. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe if I always dreamed of opening a restaurant and having something to offer that every hundreds of thousands of restaurants haven't had before. Maybe coffee flavored non-meat hot dogs will be my thing. Obi-Wan Canalus Ghost says Twitch audience will eat anything. Okay, well then I'm with them on that one. Dat Deuce says caffeine infused carrot dogs, you might be onto something. I think I am. Okay, I'm going to pour this water in there, and that's going to become sort of our this will be taking place of our broth. Now we're really cooking here. This is going to work. Let's put this over that. Okay, let's leave that on there for about what's that noise? We kind of went off script here. Place carrots in the pan, set medium-high heat. Bring the mixture to a boil. Reduce to a simmer. Okay, we're reducing this to a simmer, I guess. And until the carrots are fork tender. And we're going to remove, and then we're going to grill. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our thank you song now. Reverberation. Check. Check. As many of you know, to do a production with the caliber of high quality effects and transitions and all the stuff that we have, it takes a village. It takes an amazing village of users. It takes a village of people. Not village people, but it takes a village of people. The Yaminator, like Bob Ross said, just happy little accidents. You're absolutely right. T-Doo says coffee water is the same color as bone broth, so I think it'll turn out fine. I'm glad that you guys are so into this this coffee thing. Obi-Wan Canalus Ghost says the village people. No, I want to make it clear. I'm talking about a village of people or users, which is basically virtual people. Parasitosis, one of our virtual people, says, Henry, I hate to be that guy, but that enamel lid maybe gets scrap chip from the metal pan. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. No, be that guy. I don't want to ruin this thing. This thing's amazing. So let's take this off. I'm glad that you said that. Let's find another lid. Ow! Fuck! We just need another lid. This one's too small. There we go. There's our lid. And there's some of this is exposed. So I'm going to flip this. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on your 10-minute timer.
Okay. Is it boiling? It's not really boiling. We need it a little hotter. There we go. Okay. Sorry, a lot's going on at the same time here. Mac Daddy says, sounds like the kitchen is kicking your ass today, Henry. It really is. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I didn't really prepare very well. Beelzebub just gifted a tier 1 sub to Passy Poison. Thank you so much, Beelzebub. That's very kind of you for that gift sub. Okay, let's go ahead and do this song now. It's a song that goes out to you, the users of Henry's Kitchen, and all that you do. And this is the technical advisors, the moderators, the folks that run the Discord, the tier 3 subscribers, the big name influencers who have shared their audience with us and done collaborations and such. And I know I'm leaving people out, and I apologize for that, but we're gonna keep adding to this list. Caffeinated Cat says the added microplastics add flavor. That's what I'm told. Parasitosis says the plumber. And Zone Seek says the big carrot dogs. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Fucking fruit flies, man. Okay, we're gonna beat these. Okay, here we go. Why don't we do this to the tune of Joe Kelly Jr.'s Sweet Little Blossom of Mine that we both collaborated on. But this is the lyrics. The lyrics are basically the users who have helped us over the years. Fawcan, Fawcan and Dingo Bob, Don Beef Hot Bear 1110, Do Dingle Dog Goggle, Dr. Flanges and Bacooz, Shane Yes Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, It's Kate Kairosa, Bumble Vision, the LGX Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Marlarkin, Music and the Toily, Nim Moo Moon, Emeru, Orca Mind, S Fan and Bonnie. This works. Dazzle Cat and Blurry Little Quest, Boris and Vanilla, don't forget Quanto, Parasitosis, Dazzle Cat, Zodbane and Toke My Nuts, Saguaro Lou, Burrito 55555, Dinosaur JV's Text, Sigley Boy, Beelzebub, Henlips, One Hey, Caitlin's Kitchen, Lacey T, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit, everybody, Tankard and Boris and Ben Zodiac Tone, Gary Busey ASMR, Shandis Nova Blarian, Mr. Gooseberry VTD's Nuts, Game Master Flash, the Cat Food Taste Tester, Cheer Next Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Esnitas, Michelle Heafy, Happy Embry 225, Yarkasm Nico Tazo, Key Change, Michael Bublé 4422, Passionera Minho Shin 64, Midnight Faded JSBX Fan Esnitas, Poolboy 789, don't forget Quanto, Boris and Ben, Dark Ages and Lisi, and all. Sweet Little Blossom of Mine. Computer, how much time left?
There are no timers set.
Whoa, it just went off right at the end of that song. Computer, stop timer. Okay, I think it's time. I'm gonna grab this thing. This is what I need. Nancy Droodles just cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much, Nancy Droodles. That's very kind of you. And here we go. We're making a real fucking mess here. I'm gonna take these out, and what we're gonna do is I've got a grill pan here. This is how we're gonna get that nice grill char. And I haven't washed this pan since I bought it many, many years ago. You've probably seen it in early Henry's Kitchen videos from 2011. But we're gonna take our carrot hot dogs here. We're gonna strain them a little bit through this thing, and we're gonna put them on very hot grill. Okay, and then with this marinade, if you don't know what to do with it, you don't like wasting water, you can use it to feed your plants or your pets. Ow! It's hot. Okay, now this sucks. I don't have any coffee because I accidentally poured it into my thing. That was really dumb. Okay, so we're gonna get these on a very hot heat. And we're going to get them all nice and charred up. Meanwhile, let's spread our buns and start dressing up our buns with some kind of whatever you like on your hot dog, basically. Caffeinated Cat says, can you use the sauce as a broth? Yeah, but I think you have to use broth in the sauce. Duzah says, I think the river bisons would like the carrot coffee juice. The river bisons. Computer, what are river bisons?
River bisons are a type of buffalo that lives near rivers and is known for its skilled swimming abilities.
Computer, stop. That's got to be code for something. River bison. Reverb is on. The reverb is on. Thank you so much for that coded clue there. I left the reverb on. Check 1, 2. Excellent work there, Duzah. Dan the Dork says Roy Orbison would like the sauce. The ad is about to start. Snooze for 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. Let's get some of this mustard out there. Moussard, as they call it in French. Okay. And I like a little sauerkraut. I don't know about you guys. I should have some somewhere. Computer, where is my sauerkraut?
From DarrenGourmet.com. Store the sauerkraut in the fridge or a cold cellar.
I actually don't know whether I have sauerkraut. Damn it. That's okay. The ones in the picture don't have it. So we're just going to go ahead and do them a little more raw. Ooh, they toasted their buns. Wondering if we should have done that. Well, yeah, let's do that. It's not too late. These aren't really getting charred. Might have to turn up the heat. All right. Joker23CS says, hey, my name is Joe. My dream is to play the Joker in a new Batman movie. I think I would do a good job. The 23 in my name is because 23 is my lucky number. Thanks. Okay, Joker. I don't know if there's anything that us here at Henry's Kitchen can do to help you about getting in a Batman movie and playing the Joker. But I think that you're already halfway there, being that your name is Joe. Parasitosa says, I love toasting my spreaded buns. Yeah. Franz Schubert says, careful, Henry, that toast is clearly photoshopped. Oh. We're getting a little smoking going on here. So we've already fucked up a lot of stuff here today, and I don't want to do it more. So I think those are appropriately grilled. I'd like if there was a little more char going on our marinated dogs, but I'm not seeing that just yet. And that's too small. We're doing the best that we can here at Henry's Kitchen. Nancy Drudel says, are you going to use any mayo? I don't think so. I'm not sure if mayo is something that you do on these. I really wish I had sauerkraut. Oh, got it. What's the expiration date? Sell by April 30th, 2025. Nah. I'll put this back in the fridge. Quiet Life says, I saw you got some Bakken's Japanese barbecue sauce. Great choice. Yeah, I'm really into Japanese. We have a Japanese market here in Los Angeles, in what they call Japantown near downtown, and it gives you this incredible assortment of sauces, and they actually serve food there too. So that's where I get a lot of that stuff. Sociopathogen says it just gets extra sour afterward. Computer, does sauerkraut go bad?
Sauerkraut usually can last in the fridge for 5 to 7 days, and in the freezer for up to 2 months.
Oh yeah.
Refrigerate
No.
sauerkraut in a covered container. Once open, sauerkraut usually can last for 6 months in the fridge. Store in freezer bags or covered, airtight containers. However, you should always pay attention to expiration dates on packages and spoilage signs in your food.
Well, there was a lot of conflictory information there. It said it lasts 6 days, and then it said 6 months. I just know it doesn't smell good. Man Kickin' says, yeah, they probably burnt that down in the riot last night. Talking about, yeah. No, I think they're probably okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move this. It's not really getting the char that we wanted here, but that's okay. I'm hoping it kind of does. I'm going to back off on the heat a little bit, but I'll leave it on there longer. We want to get the char marks. Probably leave it like that, maybe. Caffeinated Kath says, do you mean Sawtell, Japantown, or Little Tokyo, Henry? I'm talking about Little Tokyo, but I've been to the Sawtell one too, and that's pretty awesome. You could probably get a lot of the same stuff. This is the one near Angel City Brewery. Is it Angel City Brewery or, yeah, one of those breweries down there. Joker23CS says, could you make a quick pickle sauerkraut, Henry? No. I think that would be a bridge too far. That's too tall of an order for my skill level. Artist Jock says, Karl Marx on a hot dog. What does that mean? Karl Marx on a hot dog, but there's no context there. I'm sure it's a reference to something, but I don't know if I get it. You might have to follow it up with an explanation. Parasitosis says, just draw it on with a Sharpie. We need this, Henry. Yeah, that's true. That's not a terrible idea. Artist Jock. Yes. What you heard is that I said I needed char marks on the carrot. Karl Marx, of course, was a economist, philosopher from the 19th century. Very different from what we have here, which are char marks, and we're not really getting them, but I can see why there was confusion. There we go. You don't see them, but there are little char marks here, but nothing like what they've got on the picture. Also, my place is starting to get very smoky, so I'm going to go ahead and say these carrots are probably ready. And we're going to let them cool down a little bit. Oh boy. A lot going on here, and it's very hot. Okay, this is the moment of truth. I want to check in. We've got 242 people watching, and I want to tell everybody thank you so much for joining us here on Henry's Kitchen. I always have a blast here, and it's nice when we see new people on here, even if they're saying extremely rude things about my physical appearance. It's still nice to know that we have an audience. Obi-Wan Canola's Ghost says, mail me one of those hot dogs. I'll see if that's legal. I don't know if you can mail food like this. I think you can mail like packaged goods. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to take, I was gifted some items from the users, and I'm going to have to find them. Not finding them just yet. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take this. This is a meat thermometer. And I'm going to poke it into one of our charred hot dogs here. And there we go. I think we're doing okay here. Close it up. I got a feeling the bun is going to be the best part of this. All right, so plating and presentation is always one of the most important parts of doing of cooking. So, or doing a cooking show. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and plate it a little bit like this so that you can see what's happening here. It's nice. A couple of charred fake hot dogs that we made out of carrots. If you want to compare it to the original picture, looks a little bit like that. See if I can find another picture of them. There we go. Not sure why that came up there. Hello? Come on. Okay. All right, here we go. Well, it's very hot, but that's the way hot dogs are supposed to be. Let's go ahead and take a bite here of our delicious carrot dog. This website that we used for today's recipe, I want to give them a shout out. It's called sweetsimpleLadies.com. Quiet life. Chopped onions would pair well with the mustard. The mustard's already tasting good right now. Oh. You know what? Quiet life, yes. The carrot is very al dente. Dark Aegis wants to know if the coffee helped. Did I invent a new sensation? I might have. It's not hurting. Let's definitely say it's not hurting. Caffeinated Cat says, our new coworker is so impressed, he's going to make this for dinner. Very inspiring, Henry. Well, I didn't invent it. I don't want to take credit. It's a sensation that's going around with the kids on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to go on record and say that this is really not that bad, and it makes me wonder if maybe a lot of what we like about the hot dog is just the way it looks. And, you know, the bread is delicious. The bread is really good. Game Master Flash just donated $10. Thank you so much, Game Master Flash. That's very kind of you. And it says here, get a hot dog from Costco. Sure, that sounds like it would be much better than this, but the toasted bread, it's fantastic. The carrot is sort of okay. It doesn't add anything, but it doesn't take anything away. What the fuck? Oh. Anonymous just gifted 10 tier 1 subs. Anonymous, I'm sure you're familiar with the group Anonymous. They do a lot of hacking. They're sort of a modern day pioneer of the redistributive types of actions that Robin Hood took back in the Middle Ages. And they do it digitally. They also write songs. Like, for example, they wrote the song Green Sleeves that we've performed during Christmas time that was later shamelessly stolen and turned into a Christmas carol called What Child Is This? Thank you, Anonymous, for gifting those 10 tier 1 subs. That's very, very kind of you. Definitely, Not Nero says, can you try the bread without the carrot for comparison? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to put the carrot out of it because the carrot actually is kind of hard to eat. And I'm just going to try the bread here and see what we think of this. Wow. You know what? If I would have known... Wow, Dooza just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Very kind of you. Thank you so much, Dooza. That's very generous of you, and it's very appreciated as it helps us keep the lights on when people subscribe. So I appreciate that, Dooza. Lacey T says, what are we eating? A mustard sandwich. Oh, yeah, you just got here late. So this is a carrot hot dog, but I just found out that the bread actually tastes better when you don't have the carrot in it. And the carrot actually made a big mess, and it took us about 20 minutes to figure out, and I lost my coffee, and it was a big problem. All you really have to do is just get some good bread, put some mustard on it, and toast it on a hot grill for a little bit, and you end up with a really, really nice, not a hot dog, but good toasted bread. I think they call it toast. Caffeinated Cat said, what happened to the second carrot? Oh yeah, that's still here. I'm going to use this probably for something else. Parasitosis says, so pretzels and mustard then. Yeah, you could do that. Gome Kande says, a mustard sandwich is good. Ambatu Kilu says, that looks amazing, Henry. This message was sponsored by the Association of Hippophiles. Okay. Thank you, the Association of Hippophiles. Caffeinated Cat says, what happened to the second carrot? Okay, so yeah, Obi-Wan Calvinist Ghost, my proctologist had a carrot just like that one. I don't think that was a carrot. I think that was probably a tool of some sort. What did they call those things? Keep wanting to say biceps, but it's not that. Lacey T says, if I can swap out carrots for hot dogs, can I also use hot dogs as snow people noses? I suppose you could. Yeah, I think you really could. Forceps. Nancy Droodles. Computer, what are forceps?
Forceps are a kind of grasping instrument that is handheld and has a hinge. They are typically used when the fingers are too large to grasp small things or when many things need to be held at once. Forceps are used in various fields for holding and manipulating objects.
Yeah, you don't want to say my gynecologist used his biceps to get into my groin. Okay. Everybody, Parasitosis says, so is it fine or does it taste like shit? Okay, we need to have a final verdict here. You know what? The carrot is not offensive. I wish I would have cooked it longer, but it's not offensive or repulsive. It might be, if you really want to get more fiber and nutrients, beta carotene, for example, vitamin C, I believe, or D, one of those is prevalent in carrots. This might be a good way to fool your body into thinking that you're eating a hot dog, but you're actually getting a carrot. So it might not be a terrible idea. So parasitosis, to answer your question, I'm going to say it's fine. And you know what? If you dressed this sucker up like a Chicago dog, it would be even more fine because you'd have even less evidence that you're eating a carrot. The liquid smoke does it. It fools you. Definitely not Nero says, what if you cook the carrot in hot dog water? We had that question earlier. I think that means that you would already have a hot dog in order to make the hot dog water. So you might as well just eat the hot dog at that point. Goo2112, hopefully a Rush reference there, says, would you carrot to make it again? Excellent pun work there, Goo2112. It was a play on the phrase, would you care to make it again? But it used the word carrot, which is what the theme of the show is today. So, Goo2112, I just want to thank you very much for that pun. That lightened the mood a lot. We live in a very serious era, and a lot of people have lost their sense of humor, and a lot of people are suffering greatly. And it's just very nice to see a little bit of levity in an otherwise dark world. So thank you for that. And Dan the Dork says, what about Henry's lip-smacking barbecue beer carrot? Yeah, that probably would have worked out better. I'm going to finish this. Nancy Droodles says the Vienna Beef Cafe Factory store is open on the south side, by the way. South side of Chicago or Vienna? Lacey T, that's a great question. I don't know if Danny's Bar and Grill in Naperville, Illinois, where I'll be performing on June 28th, will be serving these carrot dogs. They might just have regular hot dogs. If you want to get tickets to any of the upcoming shows, you go to henryphillips.com and go to the tour dates section, or you just go to henrys.kitchen and get tickets there. But they're always a lot of fun because of people showing up. Like the other night, I got to meet Username is Unavailable at the Clovis, California show, and it was really cool. Desolate Reality. Henry, do you think roast beef will ever have kids of his own? You could name one roast cutlet. Wow. That's one of the cutest fucking things I've heard in a very long time. Thank you, Desolate Reality. It even kind of chokes me up a little bit here to think of a little roast cutlet. But unfortunately, roast beef, his kid-making apparatus was snipped at a very young age. Dark Ages says, can't wait to hang with you all again. Yeah, gonna be great to see you too. I'm almost done with this mediocre hot dog. These are definitely something you could serve if you want to do, if you're going to a barbecue and you forgot to get hot dogs and you have carrots on in your veggie crisper, you could go ahead and do that. All right, everybody. I'm going to eat the rest of this. It is my lunch after all. The liquid smoke definitely made this work. It is fine. It's not good. It's certainly not fantastic. It's not total shit, though. It's fine. And that's what we like to do here at Henry's Kitchen. So Nito the Burrito says, so they should use these in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Could certainly do that, yeah. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us here at Henry's Kitchen. I'm feeling a little bit of a rumbling in my stomach that I might have to take care of now. It's probably because I'm not used to that much fiber, I guess. Nancy Drudel says, confirmed, Danny's has a Chicago dog. Oh, they do? Okay, Danny's Pub and Grill has a Chicago dog. I can't believe I didn't have it that night. Come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Naperville, Illinois, suburb of Chicago. Big Nesky says, you're looking kind of orange, Henry. Yeah, that's because of the beta carotene. I think it has that effect. All right, everybody. Let's go have Chicago dogs. You know what? Forget about the Henry Phillips show at Danny's Bar and Grill. Let's just say that there's Chicago dogs there, and I'll bet we'll get twice the turnout. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Let's all... You know what? Everybody go watch the movie Love and Mercy, the biopic of Brian Wilson. It's very good. It's got Elizabeth Banks, Paul Giamatti as the evil doctor, Dr. Landy, and it's all very true. Paul Dano expertly recreates young Brian Wilson in the studio with the Wrecking Crew and the Beach Boys while recording Pet Sounds at Sunset Sound, I think it was, where they recorded that. Amazing album, groundbreaking. And also, John Cusack does a great job of playing older Brian Wilson. It's a wonderful movie. R.I.P. the great, great Brian Wilson. And thanks, happy birthday to the great Joe Kelly Jr., and thanks for sharing your wonderful songs over the years. And I hope everybody has a great... just a wonderful rest of your week. See you later, everybody.